Have you ever been silent or joked it off when someone disrespected you, even though your throat was dry with anger? And in your time alone, you were fantasizing about beating them. The little tricks never work for me. 5 things to do next time someone disrespected you to make them regret it. No. It's about your core identity. It's about how you see yourself. How much of an issue are you willing to create for yourself? How much do you believe you deserve? If you don't take action to stand up for yourself, you will keep feeling this anger and resentment on yourself, and people will never respect you. Imagine one of your classmates, the ones who you think are at the top of the social hierarchy. Imagine one person, and imagine that tomorrow you wake up in his body. How would you react and act in social situations? You wouldn't back down from conflicts that easily, would you? You will assert yourself, you will assert your boundaries. You wouldn't accept being the substitute when all of your classmates were playing football because you believe you deserve. The neurochemistry of someone at the top of the social hierarchy is different than yours. And this means that you can change it. But you don't yet know how. And let me tell you a story to illustrate my point. I was in the back of the class. I sat next to my friend. And when I was out going to the restroom, this guy, what he did, he took my bag, he threw it, and then he took my place. Now I already had resentment against this guy. I was mad because even before I didn't stand up for myself. And this time I was mad, I wanted to do something. I told him multiple times to go out, but then he didn't listen. Of course he didn't listen. So what I did, still feeling super scared, my heart's beating, I'm sweating like hell. I took his bag, I kept it somewhere else. He went to take his bag, and then I sat down in my place again. Now, he was standing and he was telling me to move. I didn't. And then he punched me, and then I punched him back, and after a few punches flew by, a friend nearby, he came and stopped us. Of course, he hit me more than I hit him. But the reason that I'm telling you the story is that you don't have to stick to it. You can change how you have been conditioned your entire life. And this means setting boundaries and standing up for yourself. And this doesn't mean going and getting into physical conflicts. But while you can take action on it, that action will only result in lasting transformation if you get to the cause. If you get to the reason why are you so stifled to stand up for yourself in the first place. And this is the reason. In your childhood, let's take you as a little kid. When you were a little kid, your experiences and the people around you, the people closest to you, probably your family, determined how you behave in the world, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable. And if you think about this, whatever fears you have in social interactions, fear to stand out, fear of getting rejected, fear of conflict, imagine like a situation like that happens and then you go and tell it to your family. The fear is just skyrocketed because that is where the stifling happens. And they don't do it in a bad intention. They do it because that's how you learn about the world. But as a kid, if you're loud and expressive in a restaurant, let's say, and they tell you to be quiet, what happens? It's like, if they disown me, I die. It's a threat. So I'll disown that part of myself that's loud. If you show aggression and then they punish you for that because they want you to be a socially acceptable human being, you disown that part of yourself. If they keep telling you to avoid problems, that conflict is bad, you should never get into conflicts, you disown that part of yourself and you create this split within you. And if you ever felt a struggle in being confident and having social anxiety, the core reason, it's not the tips and tricks, the core reason is this split within you. And in situations that trigger the split, that make you express the unacceptable parts, even in the thought of expressing that, you feel this huge trigger. And trigger means when your response is not proportional to reality, you feel this flight or flight. You feel like you're going to die. That fear just takes over you. That is becoming trigger. And if you ever seen social anxiety challenges, or you went out and did a social anxiety challenge, you would know how this feels. And this also means you can proactively trigger yourself. You can proactively create that response of fear. Because when you do that, what's down there in the subconscious, out of your awareness, the split, you bring it into your awareness. And this means you feel like you're going to die. You feel all that fear, you feel the intense sensations. But this also means you can process it, you can release it, and then you can stop being run by it. And this is the process: action, trigger, release, repeat. You will have to face your deepest fears. I'm not going to give you the shiny tips and tricks, I'm going to give you the core inner transformational work. And you do the releasing after you take the action, you do the releasing with the help of the guided meditation. I will upload guided meditations like that in the upcoming videos of this channel. And I'm trying to tell you is that you can change it. You can become the sort of person that stands up for yourself, that asserts yourself. You can make it a part in your identity. And this is core transformation. This is something you need to experience. I will post the videos, but before that, you also need to understand another thing. You need to understand the ideology of authenticity over performance. Why do you keep approaching your social situations trying to go out and impress people? Trying to approach the situation with this feeling of I'm not good enough and I need that person's approval and validation in order to be good enough. So click on this video where I talk about how having less friends made me feel more popular. Once you understand that, you can start doing the inner work and you can start changing your life. My name is Yukash Ravan, and thank you.